If Jesus is the one who saves, and our role is simply to invite people to come and see, maybe the obstacle isn't our ability. Maybe it's our humility. Maybe it's our willingness to be uncomfortable. I don't want you guys to fall into the trap thinking that, well, God will do what he wants anyways, so I don't need to participate. No, that is not what I'm trying to say here. What I'm saying is this. God, yes, is sovereign. Yes, he will find other ways to reach these people, but he's asked you to work alongside him to that end. He's using us, ordinary people, to connect into an extraordinary Savior. And the issue is that we invite everyone because God placed people in our lives for a reason. We don't know that reason in the moment, but in hindsight, you start seeing why people were in your life. So he has given us these relationships and an opportunity for a reason. So then I say this. If we know that we're called to bear witness to Christ, yet continuously refuse to do so, that isn't just fear or insecurity. That's active negligence. Are you neglecting to share your faith with those around you which you claim to care about? It reveals a heart posture that may be poor, become more concerned with preserving their own comfort than extending Christ's invitation to others. So I'll tie it together here. Jesus knows those the Father sends him. Jesus knows us better than we know ourselves, as we saw in Nathanael. And before the invitation even goes out, Jesus already knows you, exactly where you are. Whether you're in the deepest darkness or claim to be in the light, he knows you. He's called you. We see this also in John 6:44a. It says, "No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him." Again, John 10:14, "I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own knows me." Yet again, Ephesians 1:4a, "Even as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world." Did you catch that? The foundation of the world wasn't even laid, and he already knew who you were going to be. He's already called you. He loves you. This leads me to point number 3. Jesus is the bridge. Now, when Jesus hears this confession from Nathanael, he responds in a really interesting way. In verse 51, he says, "I tell you the truth. You will see heaven open and the angels of God going up and down on the Son of Man, the one who is the stairway between heaven and earth." Jesus isn't changing the subject here. He's showing us why the invitation matters. Now, for those who don't know the story about Jacob, in Genesis 28 tells us that Jacob had a dream of a stairway that reached from earth to heaven, and with the angels of God going up and down the stairway. And at the top of the stairway stood the Lord. Now afterwards, he said, "This is holy ground," and he called that place Bethel, meaning house of God. And now Jesus takes this statement and he says, he applies this image to himself and says, "I am the stairway. I am the meeting place between heaven and earth. I am the way people come to the Father." So then you wonder, maybe that's why Jesus says, "I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. Nobody comes to the Father except through me," through Jesus. People invited others to God, and that's how they made him known to them. We see that in Philip inviting Nathanael, but Jesus was the bridge to reach him. Philip could invite, but only Jesus could save. Philip could introduce, but Jesus could reveal the Father to him. Philip couldn't bring Nathanael to God. Rather, Jesus brought Nathanael to God. That is why the invitation matters. We're bringing him to the one that does the work for us. Church, this changes the way how we do evangelism. We often think that the pressure's on us to convince others to start believing in Jesus. But that wasn't Philip's response, and why should that be ours? Philip simply said, "Come and see the guy that changed my life." Jesus did the revealing, and Jesus revealed Nathanael's heart. Jesus revealed his identity and that he is the bridge between heaven and earth, and he told everybody about it with all truth. That means that success in evangelism isn't dependent on my ability to argue people into heaven. Philip's example shows that it depends entirely on Jesus revealing himself. And we know that he will reveal himself. We aren't the bridge. We aren't the savior. We aren't the ladder, and we're definitely not a good argument. We're simply the ones that say, come and see him. Now, the heart of the issue is this. It's not whether we can convince someone to follow Jesus. The question is, am I willing to invite someone to come and see for himself? I didn't like writing this part because there's a lot of hard truths that I'm going to have to share with you guys. But he says, am I wrong to suggest that maybe the point of tension here isn't our willingness to try, maybe? Sometimes, if we're being honest, it appears as though the modern church is more uncomfortable with the idea of offending someone than it is with the uncomfort of someone spending eternity apart from Christ. I say that again. Sometimes if we're being honest with ourselves, and I want you to be honest right now in your seats, it appears as though the modern church is more uncomfortable by the idea of being offensive to somebody rather than the uncomfort of someone spending eternity away from Christ. Eternal damnation. And if that is true, then somewhere along the way, the values of our culture have started shaping us more than the values of Christ. Instead of laying down our comfort for others, we become experts at hiding it. Can I suggest that maybe we're stuck in an individualistic mindset? We care for ourselves more than others because we keep feeding our desires of the flesh rather than crucifying them. If Jesus is the one who saves, and our role is simply to invite people to come and see, maybe the obstacle isn't our ability. Maybe it's our humility. Maybe it's our willingness to be uncomfortable.